Hello everyone. I want to kind of give you guys a little pre-prep, a little unit assessment to kind of help you guys kind of see where you need to focus for your studying and everything, because your exam is going to be opening up on this Friday at 8 a.m. and it's going to cover chapters 1 and 2. So I'm going to verbally do these questions and statements to you. So get out a sheet of paper, try to put everything away so we can see how best your knowledge base is, how much that we remember from these chapters. And then I'm going to provide a second video where I'm going to provide the actual answers to these and kind of progress forward and going into other different areas, so that way you kind of know where you may need to channel your studying for this exam that's going to open on Friday at 8 a.m. Okay, so first question. All right, so make sure everything's put away. First question: in the absence of oxygen, for every molecule of glucose that enters glycolysis, 2 ATP will be formed. Now, when we get in and say if oxygen were there and we go into aerobic metabolism, the net ATP yield for glucose will be 32 ATP. Is this true or false? Second, the epimysium relates to the entire muscle, as the endomysium relates to what? Now, say we're going to do a heavy lifting task. Okay, so for a heavy lifting task, type 2X fibers are going to be recruited first because they are the most appropriate for the job. Is that true or false? Now, for aerobic metabolism, free fatty acids are converted to acetyl-CoA via beta oxidation. Is this true or false? Now, if I were to test your muscle or muscle group, okay, and it had this higher level of succinate dehydrogenase, so this enzyme within that muscle, that would tell me what about that muscle? Okay, so higher levels of succinate dehydrogenase within the muscle tells us what? Now, many marathoners, as they're running a marathon, when they hit about mile 20, will tell you that they hit a wall, okay? So if you ever ran or ran long distance, you'll know what this term means. But when you hear somebody tell you that, what is it saying about their glycogen storage? So if a marathon runner was coming to you and telling you about their race, and they're like, oh man, mile 20, I hit a wall. What does that tell you about their glycogen storage? Now, as you guys probably went through your PowerPoint, there was a slide, even within your textbook, it shows an actual picture of a cardiac, smooth, and also skeletal muscle, because they all look a certain way. Now, the alternating light and dark variations within our skeletal muscle, these thick and thin filaments, give it a certain look, and we call it what? Okay, what term do we use for this look within our skeletal muscle that has that varying dark and light? Now, if you read your chapter, hopefully you did. Hopefully not just going by PowerPoints. We talked about, the 3 energy systems: your ATP PCR, your glycolytic, and then your aerobic. Now, there's 2 important factors that are there that help determine the rate of ATP production within these energy systems, mainly and more within your glycolytic and your aerobic metabolism, those 2 energy systems. What is the 2 factors that has to be there that basically determines the rate of ATP production? There's 2 factors that determine that. Okay, what are they? Now, under resting conditions, your ATP PCR system is doing what? And this is the reason why we say that recovery time is necessary, especially, let's say, if we're doing very explosive movement in the weight room, say Olympic lifting. You have to have this acquired recovery time for your ATP PCR system. Why? What's occurring during this resting period? All right. So you had this on your essay question. We had to compare and contrast like type 1 and type 2 fibers. And there's a reason that we did that, because structurally and functionally that they're different. Now, the speed of the muscle fiber contraction is determined by what element? What was it within this comparison that allows, like say type 1 contracts to that 100 millisecond, then we have type 2A and 2X that contract to that 50. What is it that's in that allows for that maybe slower or faster contraction when we're talking about type 2 fibers? Now, there's methods that muscles use to generate force production within contraction. One of that is frequency of stimulation or rate coding. There's 3 elements of it. Which element of the 3 would produce the most force? Okay. If you need to pause or go back, go ahead and do that so you can go back over these questions so you can answer them. And then I want you to click the next video for the answers, and then we'll have discussion.